remain seated on our mat today. This is called easy pose when we just sit with our legs crossed. And I just want you to push into the mat, maybe lift up the right hip, then the left. Finding your center and starting to envision this pole of energy that goes from the root of your body or just beneath the tailbone and all the way through the top of your head. Go ahead and let your arms relax, hands on knees. A deep breath in. Exhale out through the mouth. A deep breath in. Exhale out through the mouth. Again, thinking about the root of your body right in between the legs, right at the groin. We're just going to start making smooth circles. And back the other way. Now imagine just at your belly button that you have a hula hoop and that you're moving your belly in circles one way. And back the other way. Think about the solar plexus right below the rib cage. So a little bit higher than the belly button. Begin to move in a circle. This is coming from the Kundalini practice of yoga. And back the other way, which is all focused on finding and connecting your energy inside. Place your hand on your heart. See if you can bring that movement, that circle up by the heart. Maybe the shoulders are included. And back the other way. Place a hand on your throat gently, maybe just the fingertips. We're going to bring our head all the way around in a circle. A few times here, nice and slow. Let the hand release down, keeping your eyes closed, but your mental focus on that part of the throat. And back the other way. Allowing your head to sit comfortably and rest. Let's pull our attention right between the eyes. With eyes closed, think about looking up and in towards your forehead. Sometimes we see this space as filled with light. And finally, imagine a string pulling through the top of your head. The top of your head becomes long as you roll your shoulders back and down and find comfort in easy pose for one more moment. Take a deep breath in through the nose. Exhale. Let's go ahead and extend one foot out, tucking the other foot into the thigh. Today, we're going to turn the body towards the bent leg, looking at the knee, and bring the belly down on the thigh. Hands walk off of your mat. Maybe resting on the forearms or pressing into hands, and really allowing that weight to sink into the hip. The leg that's extended can relax. Go ahead, walk hands back to body. Extended leg is going to step in and pull behind. Deep breath in, push your hands into the mat and fold back over that same knee again. This time, maybe chest can come down, coming to forearms or arms extended. Let's come back to our breath. Deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Allowing gravity to do its job as it pulls you over the thigh. Walk hands back towards body. Pushing fingertips into the mat, making a little tent with your hands, just pulling the shoulders up, maybe a little arch in the spine, opening your heart. And exhale, pull navel in, creating center strength, and back leg comes back to the front. We'll go ahead, extend the leg that's been bent this whole time, and bring the opposite foot into the thigh. Inhale. Exhale, let's turn towards the bent knee and belly over thigh, hands to the floor or down to your forearms. Even if the other hip begins to lift, that's fine. The sensation that we're hoping to feel is right on the outside and below the thigh. Softening our hip. Slowly walk hands back towards body. Extended leg will step in and pull behind us on the mat. Creating that tent with your fingers, deep breath in. And exhale, belly down over thigh, maybe even chest down and onto your hands, your forearms or arms extended. So you'll feel this is different than the half pigeon that we sometimes move into during practice. Here, we are still keeping our center of gravity right where it was when we were seated in easy pose. What we're doing is beginning to expand our energy out into the thighs and the hips and tap into the sensation of the muscles in that place that maybe we've been ignoring the rest of the day or the week. Inhale. Exhale. Slowly walk hands towards body. Using your back leg, you're just going to push the toes into the mat and press the hips up, bringing yourself to tabletop. Take a deep breath in, shoulders and hips lift into cow pose. Take a beautiful breath out, hips forward, head down into cat. And bring knees as wide as the mat, slide back into child's pose. Finding your breath, make it strong and free. Set your intention for today's practice and make it bold. Inhale, lifting your forehead, lifting your chin, looking to your hands. We're just going to walk the fingertips forward a pace, maybe our hips lift a centimeter with it, and see if we can bring our chest close to the mat. A vulnerable pose. Let's go ahead, walk the fingertips back a pace. And as we begin to lift our hips, just bring the wrists to stack underneath the shoulders. Once more, inhale, hips and shoulders lift into cow. Exhale into cat. And moving knees only as wide as the hips. Inhale, find tabletop. Taking a deep breath in. And as you exhale, just pulling navel in towards spine, keeping the back straight. Inhale and lift one arm up and towards the sky. Taking that arm, we're going to pretend it is a thread moving through the needle. That is our other arm and other leg. And slowly pulling the hips back, resting onto that arm, and head relaxes. Your hand that's still on the mat can walk a few paces forward, allowing your chest to rest on the lower arm. Maybe hand walks one more pace, maybe hips lift a centimeter, and chest rolls onto the arm. Whatever feels good for you. As you breathe, see if you can relax your eyes and your brows just a bit. Hand that's on the mat walks a few paces back, giving your hips more control. Coming back to tabletop, 2 hands down. Take a deep breath in, roll into cow pose. Exhale into cat. And raise second arm towards the sky. Maybe even turning your chin up. It's common here for this to feel tight, like you really can't open your arms as much as you'd like. As we move through the practice, we'll find more mobility. And on your next exhale, hand becomes a needle with thread weaving through, resting hips back, walking hand on the mat forward until shoulder rests on the mat, pressing into the arm. You can even relax your head down. Maybe walking fingertips on the mat further forward until the chest presses into the arm. Slowly walking hand back towards the body, giving your hips more control until you're able to unwind into tabletop. One final time, inhale into cow. Exhale into cat. Curl your toes and find downward facing dog. Heels push back and down. Hips pull to the sky. Belly presses to thighs. And every part of your hand presses into the mat. Inhale, let's pull the hips forward until shoulders stack over wrist, eyes look at the mat, high plank. Now heels begin to push towards the back wall. You'll always have the option to lower your knees for less intensity. Inhale, and as you exhale, allow feet or knees, if you're resting on them, to pivot onto the long side. And one hand up to the sky, side plank. Maybe even turning the chin up. If you're here and it's really intense, you can always lower a knee down. Exhale, hand to the mat, bringing yourself back to center. Take a beautiful deep breath in. And over to the other side, either turning the feet onto the side, turning the knee onto the side, whatever feels good for you. Pulling that arm towards the sky, fully alive, fingertips reaching for the ceiling. Maybe dropping a knee for more support. Continue to breathe, continue to relax between your eyes. On your next exhale, hand flows to the mat, pivoting back to your feet or knees and bending the arms into the body. Let's slowly lower all the way down to the mat. Relax your belly. Toenails come to the mat, relaxing your feet. Take a deep breath in, pushing through your hands. Find Sphinx, that's on forearms. Or Cobra, you have the choice here. And just breathe. Exhale, bringing belly back down to mat and bending your knees behind you. Inhale with legs bent, find Sphinx, resting on forearms, chest up, or Cobra, resting on hands, chest up. Relax your shoulders, pressing through the hands or forearms. Hips are heavy. And lower down. Finally, reaching one hand or two. We'll have two opportunities if you prefer just one. Back to the feet, or if not to the feet, just trying to graze your fingertips against the heels. Inhale, lift. Chest as high as it's comfortable. Keeping your belly button attached to the mat, keeping your hips attached to the mat. If your feet are in your hands, begin to push the feet into the palms. If you're not quite there, the pose is exactly the same. Exhale, lower down. One more opportunity. Inhale, lift shoulders. Think about pulling your heart from the chest and letting your heart shoot forward, filling the room with energy. Hands reach to heels or feet, whichever feels good for you. Belly and hips stay relaxed on the mat. One final challenge, if you are holding onto your feet, is to lift the knees. into full bow pose. And on your next exhale, lower chest down, hands to mat just beneath the shoulders. And as your feet touch the mat, let them relax down. Inhale, find Sphinx or Cobra. Exhale, push knees into the mat, raising hips. And coming back to child's pose. Maybe legs are a little closer than before. Relax your head down. Pull left hand over and place it on top of right. Breathe so deeply that you feel the center of your upper back expand. Return left hand and place right hand on top of left. Breathe so deeply that the center of your upper back expands. Coming back to the Kundalini energy centers. When we were placing a hand over our heart, that energy is not just on the front of our body, but also on the back. So here as we breathe, it is actually a heart opener. Right hand returns back. Rooting hands into the mat. Inhale, lift the hips, curl the toes, and find downward facing dog. Inhale, one foot up to the sky. Exhale, belly to knee, and take a step forward. If it's all the way to your hands, wonderful. If not, it makes no difference. Once we're here, see, can you wiggle the forward foot or the back foot any further forward or back to create more space? Inhale, sweeping hands or walking them up your leg. Find high lunge, and then allowing the back foot to base itself, maybe a little pivot, warrior one. Pull two hands towards the long side of your mat, allowing feet to turn to the long side. And exhale, hips back, flow forward and down. Wide-legged forward fold. Inhale, think about a halfway lift here. Press fingertips into mat, arms can straighten, and finding 90 degrees between the arms and the body, and then the body and the hips. Weight falls into your heels. Exhale, wide-legged forward fold once more. Bending into your knees. Inhale, roll up. Exhale once more. Wide-legged forward fold. Just allowing your head to relax. Bending into the knees. Inhale, roll up. And now as we pivot the feet towards the top of the mat, let's sweep the arms forward, even bending into the front knee, re-entering warrior one, allowing the arms to float open, taking up space. And exhale, belly over thighs, hands to the mat, big step back and find downward facing dog. Inhale, second foot to the sky. Exhale, knee to belly, and take a big step. Take a moment. Can front foot move any further forward? Can back foot move any further back? And either walking hands up the leg or sweeping them to the sky. Enter a high lunge and warrior one. Find your center of gravity. Maybe even taking a moment to close your eyes and really feeling how the feet root down for control. Inhale, sweep two hands towards the long side. Allow feet to pivot and legs straight, reach to the sky. Let's take a moment on this side. Bend the knees, let the hands float open, enter goddess pose. And hips press back, hands down, halfway lift with legs wide. And into your wide-legged forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Bend the knees. Inhale, reach hands to the sky. Maybe moving the hips from side to side, finding that energy in your bodies, letting something free. And one more time, hips back, wide-legged forward fold. Bend into both knees and roll up to the sky. Sweep hands towards the top of your mat. Allow feet to pivot back into warrior one. Belly over thighs, hands down, step back. Downward facing dog. Strong, free breaths. Inhale, pulling to high plank, either on your toes or on the knees. Exhale, letting feet fall to the sides or knees pivot and one arm to the sky, side plank. Exhale, hand down, back onto the toes or center of the knees. Deep breath in here. And use that energy. Exhale, pivot, and hand to the sky. Exhale, hand down. Inhale. Slowly lower all the way down to your mat. Relax your feet. Breathe into Sphinx or Cobra. Let hips relax. Think about letting your thighs relax. Maybe they even pronate a bit towards the outside of your mat. Maybe feet come a pace apart. Exhale, pull navel in towards spine. If you're in Sphinx, slowly bring yourself to your hands as you lift the hips and draw them back over your heels. Child's pose. To your own pace, your own rhythm, we are going to take 10 full breaths in child's pose. We'll do the first one together, and the rest will be yours. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And continue. Even deeper, even stronger. As you're reaching your final breaths, take all the time you need, pulling ourselves to tabletop, finding cow, finding cat, curling your toes, and finding downward facing dog. Walk, step, or float 2 feet to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Weight into your heels. Pressing belly down just a centimeter so that it feels like your shoulders become perpendicular with the mat. Exhale, forward fold. Relax your head, energy through your fingertips. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. This time wrapping hands behind the calves. If you would like to bend the knees, feel free. Relaxing head down and just gently using the arms to pull body closer to the thighs. Inhale, halfway lift. And bend into 2 knees, hands rise, Utkatasana, chair pose. Today we'll use chair pose to press into both feet, bringing legs straight and reach towards the sky. Come to stand, join hands together, even a bit of a standing back bend. Pull 2 hands over to the right side. Inhale, lift. Pull 2 hands over to the left side. Inhale, lift. Heel toe, feet out as wide as your mat. Interlace all of your fingertips except for the pointer, your second finger, reaching that one to the sky. And pull over to the right side. This time hips can push to the left. Big stretch. Little bend in the knees, pull the hips back behind you. And hands float all the way down the right side. Past your toes. And up the left. At the top, inhale. Exhale over to the left and hold. Popping hip to the right. Big side opener. And little bend in the knees, hips swing back, and let's pull all the way down the left side. Past the toes and up the right. Hands float open and swan dive down. Wide-legged forward fold, feet stay as wide as the mat. Hands down, relaxing your head. Really the last opportunity to let weight fall back into the heels. Embrace the sensation of the pose. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold here. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, weight in heels, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. And bend into two knees. Allow hips to drop as far as you're comfortable. Begin to pull shoulders up, arms can straighten. If it feels okay for your knees, continue to drop the weight back. You should be able to wiggle your toes until hips fall all the way down. If this is uncomfortable for the knees, if they're a little crunchy today, just stay high in the pose. From wherever you are, press elbows inside of knees and join hands together, Malasana. If your hips are high, the pose is exactly the same. You're just working a few different muscles. As you press your hands together, remind yourself of your intention. With that reminder, holding on to it, slowly bring yourself down to the mat any way you're comfortable, maybe bringing one hand behind and letting hips fall, or just bringing down one knee then the other. And then we're going to bring our feet as wide as the mat. Inhale, hands up. Exhale, belly forward, reaching hands toward feet. Seated, wide-legged forward fold. Now hands can close on the legs, on the ankles, maybe underneath the feet. Giving a gentle pull. Inhale, two hands up to the sky. Give the body a little twist towards one side. And whichever arm is closer to a leg, let that one drop down. Other arm reaches overhead. Going for a smooth move here, take the arm from the sky, let that one begin to fall down to the other leg, and first hand rises up. Exhale, two hands down once more in your seated wide-legged forward fold. And slowly roll up one vertebrae at a time. We'll bring feet to touch, allowing knees to come to the outside, bound angle pose. Instead of rolling forward today, we're going to begin to roll back. So we'll bring one hand behind our hip and then the other. Pushing into the hands, let our hips get a little closer to the feet. Pull the navel in towards belly and see if you can begin to lower down one vertebrae at a time, beginning at your hips, bending into the arms as you fall down. You'll feel forearms touch the mat, elbows touch the mat, maybe taking an opportunity for a little heart opener. And then slowly extend one arm resting onto the elbow and the top portion of the arm and the other side. Inhale, bring one hand to heart, one hand to belly, either one is fine. And exhale, see if you can pull every vertebrae down to the mat. Pushing feet together, push, push, push. Allow yourself to lift your hips if you need to readjust the hips. And pull knees together, bottom of your feet pressed to the mat. Inhale, press through feet. Allow hips to rise. And second opportunity to roll one vertebrae down at a time, this time beginning at the top of your back. Once the hips touch, you can let your feet fall from side to side. Still keeping one hand on the heart, one hand on the belly. Let the knees pull together from left to right. Maybe spending more time on one side if it feels good. In the center, let's lift the feet, knees move closer to belly. Take the hand that is on the belly, wrap it around the legs. And hand that's around the heart and wrap it around the legs. Able to rock from side to side, push each vertebrae back into place. One little massage for the lower back. And whenever you're ready, if you squeeze everything in, use all of the energy you have. Exhale and release, finding your version of Savasana. Corpse pose. Let's breathe together through the nose and only through the nose. Inhale. Exhale. 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 And release. Slowly turn to one side. Holding yourself in this safe space. Releasing all of the energy centers that have touched the mat today. Visualizing the energy pulling from the end of your tailbone, warmly flowing up through your lower back, opposite side of the belly button, flowing up behind your rib cage, behind your heart, into your neck. Taking all the time you need, slowly come up to sit. Where that energy pulls through the throat, between your eyes, in the center of your mind, and out of the top of your head, connecting you with something higher, something greater, something that reminds you that you are on the right path. Visualizing your energy like a light flowing through you that connects to a light above. We'll join our hands together above our head, meeting in that light. Slowly lowering our hands down past the crown chakra, past your third eye, past your throat, into your heart. From where the light in me sees the light in you. Namaste.